In this video, we're going to use Sampler's filter envelope to further smooth out our vocal chop. We'll first put the filter at a set position, then we'll use the envelope to add movement to the filter, and then finally we'll add a touch of saturation with Sampler's built-in saturator. Okay, so here we are at the second drop of our song. This is what it currently sounds like. So it sounds pretty decent, but I think we could use Sampler's filter to actually smooth things out a bit more, in particular the attack of this vocal chop. So first thing I'm going to do is put this low pass filter down here at around 400 hertz. Add a tiny bit of resonance too. So we've set our filter to a stable position at around 400 hertz, and it's cutting out most of the high end, as you can hear. So that's our starting place. From there, we're going to bring in the filter envelope, and this is going to add movement to the filter, and at the same time, it's going to soften up the attack of the sample a bit. We'll start doing that by turning the filter up to its maximum value. Make this loop shorter real quick. So right now what it's doing is the filter envelope is making the filter close downward very quickly. In other words, we're just getting a brief snippet of the higher frequencies before it lands at 400 hertz. And that's great in some circumstances. Sometimes you want that sound, but for our purposes, I'm thinking the opposite is going to be better. So actually what I'm going to do is set the attack to come in slower. So we got a little bit of a soft attack happening. But we get the full sustain of the note afterwards. So now the filter is quickly opening up upwards, which is resulting in a slower attack on the chops. Let's hear that in context. Yeah, I think that's better. Finally, let's add a little bit of saturation with the shaper down here. I really like the shaper in Sampler. It gives things a nice saturation. And in general, with vocal chops, I recommend adding a little bit of distortion. It can really just give things a little more vibe, and it helps things like vocal chops cut through the mix in a cool way, in my opinion. So that's too much. I'm just going to go for something subtle. The soft type at around 40 will work. Okay, that's the shaper section of Sampler, which adds a little bit of saturation. So we got Sampler's filter involved by first setting it to around 400 hertz. We then use the filter envelope to give the filter some movement and smooth things out. And then finally, we used Sampler's saturation to help the vocal kind of sound cooler and at the same time cut through the mix.